In this video, we're going to show you all the fun things there are to do at Niagara Falls, New York without breaking the budget. We'll show you some kid-friendly museums, some of them are even free, a one-of-a-kind animal rescue, eat at a couple really cool local restaurants, and of course, see Niagara Falls. Heck, we even found some time to visit a winery or two. Just saying. Hey, and by the way, you got to stick around to the end so that you can experience with us one of the coolest river cruises we have ever been on with the entire family. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go! Niagara Falls is one of the largest waterfalls in the world, and when you get right up next to it, you're going to hear, see, and feel all of that amazing power to the tune of 700,000 gallons a second dropping into the Niagara River. This place is awe-inspiring and something everyone should do at least once. Hey guys, we finally made it over here to the Horseshoe Falls. So we've seen the Horseshoe Falls and the Bridal Falls. And
the American Falls.
Yeah, this has been awesome and the mist feels so good. It's about 90 degrees today and the mist is coming off of the falls and wow.
Nature's air conditioning doesn't get any better than this. It's such an adrenaline rush to be next to this and feel that mist and that feeling of power. It's awesome. You gotta come up.
So if this isn't on your bucket list, it ought to be.
It has to be.
The coolest part about Niagara Falls is that it's completely free to visit. It's part of the New York State Park system, which makes it a very popular tourist destination. There's a bazillion people here today.
A lot.
But it's still fun. So plan for crowds. And now this can also make parking a little bit of a challenge, but hey, not to worry. There's buses that are all over the place and even a free shuttle that'll pick you up from just about anywhere in town. Walking through the state park is actually magical. You can seriously see water just about everywhere you look and, well, lots of bridges. So we're about to go over the falls, or the river that leads to the falls, on a pedestrian bridge. Oh, I'm sure it's safe. I'm just not a big bridge fan. On dry ground, we saw some of the coolest things, like this performer who kept the kids busy for a bit. Now, since this is a state park, you can take your dog. Depends on how your dog handles crowds, because remember, there will be a lot of them. If you'd prefer to get up close to the waterfall without going over in a barrel, of course, there's a couple of options for you. One, you can climb aboard the Maid of the Mist, a boat tour that takes you right up to the base of the falls. Or you can ride on an elevator down to the base of the rocks on the Cave of the Winds. It's a walking tour. There's admission fees for both of these attractions, and warning, you will get wet on both of these tours. Shopping is always a big part of any trip to Niagara Falls, and believe me, you'll find lots of opportunities to get that perfect souvenir. From t-shirts to teddy bears, the gift shops inside the park have it all. Now you might be asking yourself, I wonder what else there is to do at Niagara Falls. Well, stick around because we're about to find out. The Niagara Falls State Park isn't the only game in town. In fact, there's two more state parks right next to the falls. The Three Sisters Island State Park and the Goat Island State Park. And then, about 2 miles downstream from the falls, you can stop at the Devil's Hole State Park, which offers stunning views of the Niagara Gorge and is connected to the Whirlpool State Park by a 1-mile walking trail. Whirlpool State Park gives you an up-close view of the famous Niagara River Whirlpool. Now here's a pro tip, guys. You can also drive to both of these parks from the Niagara Parkway, and there's plenty of parking. Well, you've checked off the waterfall and all things associated with it, right? Not quite. Since you're on the Niagara Parkway anyway, you might as well take the kids into the Niagara Power Vista Museum. The what, you say? The Niagara Power Vista Museum. It's just a half-mile from the Whirlpool State Park, and it's a kid-friendly touch museum sitting right on the American side of the Niagara Gorge. The museum takes you from the beginnings of the Niagara Escarpment through to the times that the power of the Niagara River was used for grinding wheat to make flour. Then its awesome power was discovered by none other than Nikola Tesla, and the rest, as they say, is history. Kids and adults will learn how power is generated from the Niagara River, what it takes to send that power throughout New York and Canada, and then be able to see and learn about the Power Vista itself. This attraction is totally free and open daily. Are you hungry yet? Well, good, because you're about to see two truly local restaurants that'll have you wanting to plan your trip just so you can eat at them. The first is a wing place. Yes, we understand that the Anchor Bar is the first place in the Niagara region to ever make wings. They're located in Buffalo, hence the name Buffalo Wings. But the place we went to makes the claim that they were the first restaurant to put wings on the menu. Duff's Famous Wings in Amherst, New York, has been in operation since 1946 and selling wings since 1969. If you're in the area, you'll need to check this place out. The other tasty place that you absolutely have to try is the Silo in Lewiston, New York. The Silo has been featured on Man vs. Food, and one bite of their famous original haystack, and you'll understand why. Holy cow, it's delicious. I have a haystack from the Silo in Lewiston, New York. How cool is that? It's a cheesesteak sandwich with hash browns on top. You can even get bacon on it. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to take a bite, so I'm just gonna do it. Wow. That's absolutely delicious. If you get the chance to stop in Lewiston, New York at the Silo, do so. You'll not regret it. The Silo is a historical building that was once a standard on the Lewiston waterfront, supplying the coal for the steamships that traveled the Niagara River into Lake Ontario. Today, this restaurant offers beautiful views of the Niagara River and fantastic food. This is a must for anyone visiting the Niagara region. After dinner is the perfect time to stop at a winery or two. You see, the Niagara region of New York State has some of the finest wine on the East Coast. The Niagara Escarpment, coupled with Lake Ontario, have created the perfect microclimate to produce wonderful wines, and you can always taste before you buy. This is what vacation's all about. We stopped at the Bella Rose Winery right here in Lewiston. It's about 3 miles from the campground where we're staying, and we got a flight of amazement, not amazingment, but amazement. Cheers. We still have a few more attractions to show you, so stick around. You don't want to miss these. If you follow the river about 30 minutes north, you'll run into a small town called Youngstown, New York. If you look on the map, this is where the Niagara River dumps right into Lake Ontario. About 300 years ago, some smart person thought this would be a really great place for a fort, and believe it or not, Fort Niagara is still standing, guarding the entrance to Niagara Falls. Although no longer an active military post, this 300-year-old fort offers living history that will keep the kids and even some of the adults busy for hours. Now, there is an admission fee, which is so incredibly worth it because they blow stuff up.
Gunker McRae! Fire!
We did an entire video on Fort Niagara, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And speaking of Lake Ontario, this beautiful body of water is one of 5 Great Lakes and is the last stop before flowing into the Atlantic Ocean. There's lots of spots to access the lake. Just follow Route 18 from Fort Niagara and head east. Heck, there's no telling what you might find along the way. A great rainy day activity is the Aquarium of Niagara. Here you'll find fun penguins, jellyfish, turtles, and the California sea lions that do a show a couple times a day. Kids have the run of the place and will be kept entertained with touch tanks and shows throughout the day. Our last attraction has boats, waterfalls, and even a famous song. You're going to love this one. In 1825, the last shovel of dirt was turned, the gates were opened, and water filled the 363-mile Erie Canal that connected the Great Lakes with New York City. The canal was hand dug and included 83 canal locks that allowed the boats to climb from one elevation to another. One of the biggest challenges was getting over the Niagara Escarpment, and at Lockport, they had to use 5 locks to be able to climb the 60-foot elevation change. Modernization of the canal has reduced that number to just 2, and today you can experience locks 34 and 35 at Lockport from aboard a real-life canal boat. Take a trip through the locks, travel 15 miles, and sing the song that made this place famous. Today's destination came from a suggestion from one of our viewers. So if you have a place that you would love to see the Fun Chasers visit, please leave a comment below or send us a suggestion at talesfromthefunchasers@gmail.com. Guys, we seriously couldn't do this without you, so thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. Please share this video on your social media accounts or send it to a friend that you know is planning a trip to Niagara Falls. It'll probably help them out a lot. So till next time, enjoy the journey regardless of the destination and come along for the ride. It's easy. Just subscribe.